Hello, how are we doing today? So this is our very first video on Scratch, and I'm your tutor and my name is Miss Favor, and I'll be guiding us through the Scratch environment today. Now, as you all know, this is the Scratch environment. So today I will be explaining what everything here does and how they work. Alright, because I know it might look too cumbersome right now, but I will do some explanations and then everything will be clear to you. Alright, so first of all, we know what Scratch is, what Scratch program is. It's a program that allows you to create games, animations, or what have you, for educational purposes, for fun, for games, for relaxation and stuff like that. So Scratch is basically how kids learn how to build games at a tender age. Understood? So that's it. Now, first of all, the first thing we're going to talk about today is a sprite. Now, a sprite is a character in Scratch. This is a sprite. Where can we find sprites? Down here, where we have the head of a cat. When we click on it, we can see variety of sprites. We have sprites under animals, under people, under fantasy, dance, music. Now these parts, these places, this is I'm calling out now, these animals, people, fantasy, dance, music, sports, they are called sprite categories. All right, these are the sprite categories. We have animal category, we have people category, we have fantasy category, we have dance, we have music, we have sports, we have food, we have fashion, we have letters, which is numbers and alphabets, right? We have alphabets, just alphabets. So now we come back. So that's about characters in Scratch. Now we have a backdrop. A backdrop is a picture that serves as a background. Now, how can we get our backdrops? Down here, where we have this image here, where we have this image called choose a backdrop, we click on it and we can see variety of backdrops. Now backdrops, somehow I love backdrops because somehow they help set the mood of whatever you want to create. Understood? So we have different categories of backdrop. We have a school. Now let's come up here, which is the backdrop categories. We have fantasy, we have music, we have sports, we have outdoors, indoors, space, underwater, and then we have patterns. But somehow I just love this bedroom too. So let's see. Now this is bedroom 2. Now imagine you wanted to create a conversation between this cat and the owner, and you want it to be in a bedroom setting. This is exactly what a backdrop is used for. It helps to set the mood of your game or whatever thing you want to create. Okay, it's very important. It adds color and beauty to your game. All right, now the next thing we have, which is more like the main thing, is our code categories. Now, what are code categories? These are the groups which the code blocks are divided into. Now we have up to 7 or 8 categories here. We have motion, looks, sound, event, control, sensing, operators, variables, and my blocks. Right? Now we would go into them one after the other, but before that, let me explain code blocks. Now there is a difference between code blocks and code categories. Code blocks are these ones we have here: move 10 steps, turn 15 degrees, go to random position. These are code blocks, right? But then these code blocks are under a particular category. Now under motion we have all these, and one thing about Scratch I love so much is that it differentiates it with colors. Right? Now motion is blue in color, right? And everything under motion is blue. Now all these blocks are called code blocks, which are under motion category. When you come to looks category, everything is purple, right? We see purple color, and where it starts, from where it starts to where it ends. Now all these things here are under the category called looks, just like that. So there's a difference between code blocks and code categories. Now code blocks are blocks of codes that you join together to create a program like an animation or a game. So you stack them together. These blocks here you see here, they are meant to be stacked together. As you can see, I'm just giving an example. This is how it works. You stack them together and then they exhibit whatever thing you want them to exhibit on your stage. All right, so let's take it back. Now we have the stage. The stage is the area where the sprites interact. It is where the action of the project takes place. Now, don't mistake a backdrop for a stage. A backdrop is just a picture, right? You can have a stage that does not have a backdrop. All right, so this is just a backdrop. This image of a bedroom is just the backdrop, right? Our stage is everywhere. Is that particular place where that backdrop is, that's the stage. Okay, so the stage is where the action takes place, where your characters interact or move or dance or whatever thing you want to do. That's the stage. That's this place here. This place here is the stage. All right, where the bedroom is, that's where the stage is. Understood? Now let's move into the code categories. Right, let's move into the code categories. I'll just list them out and then I'll give you an assignment. So the code categories we have motion, we have looks, we have sound, we have events, we have control, we have sensing, we have operators, we have variables, and we have my blocks. Right, so these are the code categories we have in Scratch. Now for your assignment this week, I need you to memorize the code blocks that are in the following categories and understand them. Okay, let's just use two, motion and looks. Just motion and looks. I want you now, all the blocks under looks, yeah, memorize them and try to understand, try to think about what it might do for you in your games or in your projects. All right, so I'll stop here for now. In our next video, would look properly into all these code blocks I've mentioned, the motion, the looks, the sound. I would explain to you at what points are they needed in your games and at what points are you supposed to implement them in your games. All right, as usual, I always say, if you have any questions on whatever thing you've taught so far, you can ask your tutors when you see them in your class. But before then, please keep on practicing your Scratch environment. Be creative, explore your Scratch environment, play around it, do things, and I'm very sure you'd enjoy it. All right, so that's it for me today. Have a nice day, take care of yourselves, and bye. Practice makes perfect, so practice more so that you can be perfect. Bye.